right, I'm also going to be doing our marketplace talk this morning. Amen. If I could just get my slides up. Amen. We've been in such a beautiful journey this year in our marketplace talks, and we've had, a couple of marketplace leaders take us through. We've gone through business, how to grow in business, how to grow in your career, how to think about other alternative means of income as well, that Pastor Dumi did last month. And it was incredible. Amen. I'm sure everyone in the house has an extra hustle after last month. Amen. So this month, I will be taking us through, and we'll be going back to career planning. Amen. And I want us to go through how to navigate a successful career journey. Amen. How to navigate a successful career journey. And I've deliberately called it a career journey because it is a journey. Amen. It is not a destination. And, it's always important to remember that the destination never really gets there, because you're always evolving, you're always growing, you're always looking at how you can improve. And I love how the ex-COO of Facebook actually said it. She put it so beautifully. She said, careers are a jungle gym, not a ladder. Amen. And I know a lot of us have heard the saying that I'm climbing the corporate ladder. Amen. I dare to say you're fighting your way up the corporate ladder. And I dare to say this morning that there is no such a thing. The ladder towards success is not linear, and it's going to come with its ups and downs. You're going to pivot, you're going to change, you're going to grow, you're going to shift, and it's going to be like what she says, it's going to be like a jungle gym. And that's why it's a journey and not a destination. Amen. And just as we go into the next 4 weeks, my slides I'm sure will come up soon. I'll just give you a brief indication of what we'll be discussing. Today we'll quickly go through self-discovery and career planning. In the next week, we'll look at how to build skills and how to network in the corporate space. In the third week, we'll navigate personal branding and how to effectively job seek. Amen. And then the last week, we'll look at career growth and everyone's favorite, if you're in corporate, work-life balance. Amen. We're going to end with that. But this week, we're going to start off with the idea of self-discovery and career planning. And there are 2 sections to this area, right? So the first one is understanding your strengths and your weaknesses. It is so important. And I wrote here that self-discovery is a process of understanding your own values. So your own passion, your strengths, your weaknesses as well. You need to know about that. So you ask yourself the following questions. What are my interests? And I'd like to just invite a lot of the young people in the room. If you're still in high school, this is the best time to ask yourself these questions, right? What am I interested in? What are my core values? And then you introspect on the journey that will allow you to achieve whatever your interests are and whatever you want to achieve in your career. Amen. And embarking on self-discovery is not an easy thing, but it requires work. So some people use methods such as journaling, seeking feedback from other people, and taking personality tests. I don't know about anyone in the room who's ever heard of an Enneagram assessment. It basically assesses what personality type you are. And that often helps you in order to identify what drives me, what am I passionate about. And that will also give you an indication of how you can grow and what career options are there for you. Amen. So the key here when you're discovering yourself in terms of your career is you remain open, you remain curious, and you're always willing to learn more about yourself. Amen. So gone are the days where you wait for someone to tell you this is the next career stop in your life. So you need to actively seek out what is happening in the market. Where do I want to be, and what can I do now as a high school student? What can I start researching now for my future career? And for those who already are in a career, how can I pivot? How can I change? How can I move to the left or to the right to grow closer towards what my goals are? Amen. And I just wanted to give you some practical advice here. You know, number one, the first thing you can do is research. And we've already spoken about research, journaling as well, to discover what it is that you like. And then you can also take some personality tests, assessments. There's some free ones online. And then the last one, especially for those who are still going to study in varsity, is visit open days. It's August. I know a lot of universities, a lot of varsities, a lot of technical colleges are going to have open days coming up very soon. Attend them, ask the right questions, you know, in order to know what is it that I may be drawn to in my career in the next season. Amen. And then the next phase of what we want to discuss today is setting your career goals. And I don't know how I can emphasize this even more, but we all know that planning is important, right? We plan every part of our lives, and our careers as well should be planned. You need to have a plan of where you are and where you want to go. Amen. Because you are going to be the one that directs your future. And even in the workplace, you know, people want to see individuals who take initiative to say, this is where I want to go. This is how I want to grow. How can you assist me to get there? Amen. So planning is very important in your career. And then just some items that you can use in career planning. I think all of us have heard about SMART goals. Amen. So you need to make sure that your goals are SMART. They're specific. You can measure them. They're attainable, right? You want to dream, but you also want to make sure that you don't set yourself up for failure. Amen. So where I am currently right now, I can't set up a goal to say I'll be CEO in a year. Amen. It would be beautiful, but it's not going to happen in a year. So it's not attainable. So set goals for yourself that are attainable, you know, that are relevant. So what is relevant to what you're doing currently? And you also need to make sure that these are time bound. So you have a time frame to say, I want to get a degree by this time. I want to be at this level at this time. And that's significantly going to help you in your career planning. And just as we've gone through, you will see they're intertwined. So knowing who you are, what your values are, and career planning are intertwined. You want to know what your interests and your values are before you start with your career planning. And if you're already in a career, you know, you haven't lost anything. You can still reflect, sit back and say, okay, from today, where do I want to go? Amen. And then I just want to call out these questions to you. As you go back today and you think about how can I plan better for my career? Number one is, who am I? Amen. Who am I? So who am I in terms of my values? Who am I in terms of my strengths? And how does that play into my career goals? Number two, what do I want to be, right? And this speaks more to just, you know, the position that you want to attain in a company. It's what do you want to be? Do you want to add value to your clients? Do you want to add value to the marketplace? So a more deeper question of what do I want to give back? Amen. And then you also want to ask, how will I get there? So it speaks to those SMART actions in terms of how do I want to get to where I want to get. So these questions are very important when you're doing your career planning. I see my slides are not up yet. I wanted to show everyone just a slide that indicates all the careers that are available today that were not available 10 years ago. And with that, I want to say that it's not too late. It's not too late to discover something that you enjoy, something that you're passionate about. I mean, some of the things that are there is a podcast producer. 10 years ago, that wasn't big, but it's a career, a booming career nowadays for the young people. If you want to be a podcast producer one day, you can be. It can be a career and it can be a job, you know. There are people who are app developers. There are people who are chief listening officers. I didn't know this, but, you know, listening is a skill in corporate, and sometimes people need help. So, you know, they have people who are listening officers to teach leaders and to teach team members, how do you listen? Not only to each other, but how do you listen to your customers in order to get to the best result for the company? Amen. So that is our first week, and I just want to encourage you that as you go back and reflect, where are you today in terms of your career? Where do you want to be? And most importantly, who am I, and how do I want to add value into the marketplace? Amen. Amen. I hope that was a blessing for you. If you'd like to see the slides, I'm happy to share them with you after service. And right now, I'm going to call on Karabo to come and do our generosity teaching for the morning. Amen.